No point. Perhaps we carry on with the rest of the presentation as we wait for the questions to come through. There's one by the looks of things.
Okay.
Aye. Good boy.
Good point. All right. Coming up. All right, here we go. So the next 5 years, once again, this is indicative time frame, but nonetheless, this is what we're working to. So, of course, we're just coming to the end of 2021. And as I've already mentioned earlier, we've actually achieved a significant amount of milestones this year, including recognition of our deed of mandate and, of course, agreement on terms of negotiation and, importantly, our appointment of negotiators. Concurrently, we also completed the Waitangi tribunal hearings process as well. So a big piece of work that's happened this year, but now we start to look at the coming year. So 2022, we move into, of course, the negotiators achieving or working towards achieving the agreement in principle. So they're working on our negotiations, and hopefully within at least an 18-month period, we will come out with an agreement in principle, and we will be able to work alongside our iwi to move that, to finalise the agreement in principle in 2023. And then once we move from that agreement, we can commence work on the deed of settlement. Now, when we get to that deed of settlement, of course, we know we're getting closer to the end. And that's like, we're really looking forward to that, because potentially if we keep to this time frame, we could have things all settled by 2026, where we have, of course, our PSGE established and the legislation in place. That's what we'd like to think we can do. I believe that we've got the capability to do that, and with the support, of course, of each of our iwi runanga and membership, I think we can get there. I do note we've had a hui with our trustees and negotiators today, and some of our earlier thinking in terms of reaching settlement was actually we thought we might be able to reach a settlement in 2014. Yeah, in our dreams, of course, and nonetheless, it was aspirational. We didn't realise how long it was going to take to get through different parts of this process, particularly, of course, the Waitangi tribunal process, which I must say, I will say, now that it's completed, remember, we decided to go down that process because we wanted to tell our story and have our story put on record. What it also did was, it actually unearthed information that we didn't know about, information that we can actually now use before there's even a report in negotiations. So that was definitely beneficial. It's been beneficial, not only in telling our story, but also in being able to provide us somewhat of a foundation from which the negotiating team can work from. So that's actually coming to the end of our presentation. Main thing here has been to just give you an update, essentially of what we've done this year, but also to introduce you to our negotiators, because most of you will know them anyway. There aren't any questions, and I realise it is a Saturday afternoon and people have got other things to do this day. So unless there are any other comments from our panel.
I think the most important thing is, as we go into the negotiation, we need to continue to register our people, and because, dare I say it, iwi often isn't the most sexy thing to be part of, because people's priorities are always competing, and it's just the reality of what it is. An easy way to do it, I can see my sisters are online, is that what we'll do is that fill out for the 4 different iwi, fill out the hapu, so that when you're going to your different whānau, they don't need to work out all of that stuff, because the moment it becomes hard, they're not going to fill it out. And we can say, oh, that's bloody lazy, but let's just make the journey into our iwitanga as inviting as possible, and do some of that hard stuff, so that over the Christmas holidays, over the New Year's holidays, we're then able to do more registrations to help bolster up the numbers, because one of the key components of the Treasury's equation has got to do with population. And at the moment, our collective population is around 2,500 as per the census. And because the government have already acknowledged that they made mistakes in 2018, that's an opportunity for us to push what our actual registrations are as well, because the Crown's already acknowledged that mistake. So let's make the most of the holidays while we're enjoying time with whānau to bolster that up.
Just a kōrero for me, I just wanted to whakapakari what you'd said, Urekuru, about the work that's been done, and the trust didn't jump on a bandwagon all those years ago of going straight into direct negotiation, and so yeah, all of the information that's come back and all of the research, as much as it's helped us, it's going to give us that springboard off the negotiation side of things. What it really has done for those people that have been part of it, and for the future generations, is that there's this whole mass of information about our tūpuna that we're now able to really access into. So that is the benefit, of course, in the negotiation space, but actually the bigger benefit, if we got rid of that, is actually to our people to get more of an understanding of really who we are, because you stay in one little place for too long and you just only see the people that are around your, around your little village, and you may forget all of those other people that make up who it is that are part of your hapu and actually the wider iwi space. So I just wanted to say that, yeah, it has been a long haul to get to where we're at, but it happened because it needed to happen in this case. So I just the mahi to the trust for that.
Kia ora, Nick. The other thing I think is just keep sharing your whakaaro, whether that's by email or whether that's by PM to the Facebook page, to different social pages, whatever. Send the whakaaro in so that we can then go through, because the more thoughts we have as to how we skin the beast, it's going to help us. But also with registrations, it's best that you as whānau work out why it's important to be connected. Because it's one thing for someone else to say to different whānau, oh, you should be connecting because of this. But when it comes from the nana or the koro, often then the mokopuna's got no choice. But, it's about reconnecting to the magic of who we are, so that we help each other to fall in love, because for too long the Crown not only tried to make us invisible, but they've created this really ugly picture, which isn't true. And we are amazing, we are beautiful. And the more we share that love, that's going to take us to a better place.
Yes, certainly, tautoko and echo the whakaaro that have been shared by negotiators and the trust chairperson. I do think it's important that if you have some whakaaro and you want to come straight to the negotiators, you should feel free to do so. It's not like the church; you don't have to go through a minister. You can just go straight to the spiritual source. But it's really important, because sometimes we might get into a conversation and we might be thinking, yeah, it's A, B, C, but actually all the iwi are thinking 1, 2, 3. And it's important for us to stay in touch and stay connected. And if you ever stop in Rada, you might see me more regularly over the coming years. So just get in touch, know our emails, or find us on Facebook. Easy enough. Tracy, are you on Facebook? God. I saw your buttons up emails. That's right. Facebook.
Facebook, Insta, whatever.
Insta, whatever. Jay's on TV every other night too on the Jay channel. So don't be shy. Kawe whakama. Get in touch, and sometimes it just takes one little change or one little idea. It can spread into something massive. And we know just from our last 24 hours, some of the materials that have come out of the research, just because someone took that extra bit of time to say, hey, what's that letter? What's that note? What does that mean? And all of a sudden we've got quite a strong and credible set of evidence to say, actually, there's a serious breach. The Crown hasn't delivered on its promise under the Treaty of Waitangi and being a good neighbour. And here we go. And so it's the same with the whakaaro that you might have around a negotiation strategy. Give us a tinker, give us a holler, send an email as suitable.